Hey guys, hey, it's Kevin, and today I'm coming to you from a local junior high school. This is actually where I went to junior high. Obviously you can see by the title of the video, this is a message I would like to give my junior high self, and maybe something that if you're going through this period of life, I know middle school can be a really difficult time for a lot of people. I was talking to one of the friends I work with, and they were detailing just how awful middle school can be. For me personally, it was some of the best times of my life. You know, I was really good at sports. I was really good at track. I think I still have some of my records here, but it was also a lot of times I struggled with a lot of depression, a lot of isolation, like a lot of people do. I think just naturally that age group is a struggle. You're trying to figure out who you are, what you're about, what you're going to do. You know, I work with a lot of kids now that even come from this school. But it's weird. I went here and I'm helping kids that go through a lot of struggles here. You know, this is one of those schools where it's kind of perceived to have a rougher crowd to it. There's lots of lower income kids. There's lots of just the demographics. It's not your well-off, well-to-do kids who are coming to school. There's a lot of kids from a lot harder backgrounds. So a little bit about the history. It's actually a really old school. It may not look like. I know I've just got some of the background, the field, and I'll get some shots of the building. But the original building when I went here, it was built in 1948 and it stood all the way up until recently. They tore it down, replaced it. They did leave kind of the outer shell of the library, kind of as a tribute to the school. There's just so much character, like just the way things were built back then. There was so much character and just things added to it. It just looked a lot different. It looks nice now, but it's very kind of plain Jane-esque. So, you know, I think in our lives that's a symbol. You know, the school and the history that I knew is no longer here. There's only a shell, there's only a husk, and I'll edit in some footage of that. It's not what it used to be. Something new has happened here. You know, I think that's a lot with a lot of things in life. We can look back and we can see maybe not the entire picture or the full picture. We can't remember everything. But those things that are in our past, they're just a shell. We can't go back and alter them. We can't go back and change them. But we can use them as a reference point. And I'll come back to this a little bit later, but using your past, whether it's painful or whether it was fun or whether it was happy, as kind of these light posts. You know, maybe going forward in the future, we can't see what's around the next step, around the next corner. We can only see what's right in front of us. But if we turn around, we can see where we came from. Part of who I am today is because of some of the struggles I went through in middle school. Part of me being a therapist and helping other, kids that are going through middle school right now and high school as well, is because I went through this process. So some things, there's three things that I wanted to focus on that I would like to tell myself or tell someone else that's going through this. Hey, number one, there's two parts to it. Turn in your homework. The hardest thing is just turning it in. Half of life is just showing up. Actually, I'd probably say more, 80%, half of it is just, the majority is just showing up and turning in your assignment. Just because you feel like you don't have the motivation to do something or you don't see the point, I promise you, turning in your assignments, turning in your little things now, doing the little things that you don't think matter will pay off later. That's really cliche, but for me, I literally had to deal with extra stress all the way into college just because I didn't do my work here, i.e. math. Next, focus on the simple. I think it's so easy to get wrapped up in all the chaos and all the issues and all the problems and trying to hang out with the friends you want to hang out with that may not be the best, avoiding the friends that you've known for a long time, and isolating a lot, fixating on all the things you're worrying about and all the things you're stressed about. Take time to focus on the simple. Go spend time with those friends, those old friends that you have. You'll still be friends with them, at least for me, in my case, you'll still be friends with that same group I went to elementary with. I'm still friends with them now, but there's a lot less time now. You get to see your friends every single day. Spend time with them. Yeah, they might be annoying as hell right now, some of them, but they're good people and they're going to be good people and they're going to be good sports for you your entire life. Spend time with them and remove yourself from those toxic, negative, draining people. The people that just want to take something from you. It may seem like they want to include you and bring you in, but really they're just going to take and take and take and take more and more until there's nothing left from you. Ask for help if you need it. If you need help, don't just isolate and draw away and think you can handle it yourself. Just ask for help. Stop wasting your time. Stop wasting everyone else's time. Go get help. Whether it be for asking a question on a test or about a homework assignment, whether you're struggling with something, you need someone to talk to, just ask for help. Just reach out. I think one of the lies that depression and isolation kind of tell you is that, you know, no one's there. Nothing matters. There's no point to anything. And that kind of is a nice segue into the next thing I want to talk about, and that is, this is a good message for even kids. You know, this is what I tell kids in the psych hospital I work at. You know, you matter. What you do matters. If you were to not be there, or you were to leave, people would lose something. I know it may not feel like that, but you know, the little things, like I said, the things that I struggled with going through here, I'm not going to get too detailed about it, led me to be able to do a good job where I'm at right now. I may not be able to have the same empathy for kids going through a hard time right now, in high school and middle school, as I did if I didn't allow myself to go through some of the process. So even though it feels like maybe that life is pointless, nothing matters, nothing's ever going to get better, realize you matter. You make a difference. You know, you have something to contribute, whether you believe it or not. And even in a more kind of a harsher tone, you know, there's somebody else in the future who's going to need what you can give, whether that's just support, whether that's through maybe a job you're doing. It could be anything. You know, if you're not there, if you don't you don't realize that you matter, you may not be there to give them that. You may not be able to meet a need. Somebody might really need you in the future, and they need you now. So, and keeping in mind, I know if I told myself this in middle school, realizing that everything's gonna pass. You know, if middle school wasn't the funnest for you, or if it's a living hell, or high school's a living hell, realizing it'll pass. So I know to my 15-year-old self, okay, 3 years here sounds like an eternity. I remember sitting in the first day of 8th grade being like, well, I'm basically a life sentence inmate here. I'm never gonna leave. This year is gonna go on forever. I'm not even realizing how quickly it'll go. And sometimes if you just realize it'll pass, you focus on the simple and the present, you know, you can have a good time. There's a lot of positive things that sometimes got smeared with a lot of negativity for me. You know, I was pretty good at sports and I had a lot of fun with that, but I allowed so much negativity and stuff to kind of creep in that it smeared a little bit of that. You know, I was with my friends all the time. I could have spent, you know, while I was at school, but I could have spent more time with them. You know, I could have spent more time with, you know, other people, and especially your family. You know, your grandparents, your parents. For me, some of the folks that I would trade, you know, spending time with them to go do something else, or I'd avoid going over and seeing them. I wish I could go back in time. I can't tell you enough how much I'd love to go back. Just go back to 7th grade, 8th grade, and just go spend more time in my grandpa's house. You know, I miss him so much, and he's not here, and I wish I could just be able to go back in time and spend more time with him. So focusing on the simple things. So that's all I got, guys. Really want to end with recognizing, even though, you know, I could just imagine, even though this is not the school I went to, you know, they tore it down, they tore everything down. I could just see and picture myself going to school here every day, thinking, you know, you're just another rat in the race. Nothing matters. You don't matter. Life is kind of pointless. You know, I could picture myself walking here. It's really easy. There's lots of kids that struggle with a lot of depression, a lot of issues that go here, and I can see myself walking through their same shoes here. You know, and keep in mind, especially if you're a kid, you're watching this, or somehow found your way to this video, realize that there's other people like me who genuinely want to help you. If you're going through a hard time, even if you're an adult or you're in college, whatever, realize that there's people who are in the profession of therapy or counselors or psychiatrists who genuinely want to help. You know, there are some people that just want to collect a paycheck. There are some people that are burned out that aren't a good positive, you know, support for you. there are genuine people that get up and they're excited about what they do, they're motivated for what they do, that they want to be there, they want to help you, they're not going to judge you, they're not going to put you down, they're not going to go tell your story to get on Facebook and put a detailed summary of what you're going through to all your friends. There's people that are there to help and want to help and can help you, believe it or not. Or actually, I think the proper term is to give you the tools to help yourself. So anyhow, guys, I don't want to be too long-winded in the video. I hope there's not like a slight tilt to the video, but honestly, I don't care at this point. This is the second time I try to get out here and do this, so I'm going to post it anyway. That's all I really got, guys. I'll get some more footage just around here, and maybe take some photos just so you can get an idea of the school. And that's all I got, guys. Thank you.